Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, long time no see. I thought I was gonna be able to do so much reading this summer and so many reviews, and that didn't happen. Summer used to be for reading, and now it's for toddler wrangling. So, shout out to y'all with toddlers, y'all understand. Anyway, it's fall in Michigan now, so change of weather, more time inside, more time to read. Today's book is a highly anticipated book. I mean, at least for me, it is. It is the third installment in the Sun series by Rae Lyse. If you haven't read the series, you're definitely missing out. The first book is Saving Sunflower. The second book is The Endgame, which I did a full review of on my channel earlier this year. So if you didn't check out that review, check out that review. If you haven't checked out these books, check out these books. Today's book is Bunny. I love this cover. Look how cute it is. This was a emotionally charged book. It was a heavy lift, but I think that this is an outstanding read. It is an outstanding finale to an outstanding series. This book is Desmond and Logan's love story. If you've read the previous two books, then you know Desmond. We met him in book 1 and we saw him briefly in book 2. He is Dominic's best friend. So he completes the trio, Dominic, Josiah, and Desmond. When Rae Lyse said that she was going to write a book about Desmond, I was like, Desmond, we don't even like him. He did not give the best impression in the first book. His attitude was poor. He wasn't that likable. But she said that she was going to write a book. I read the book. I loved the book. Turns out I love Desmond as a character. I really do. I think that one of the things this author really excels at is writing very complex, many-layered characters. And Desmond and Logan are no different than all of her other characters. So Desmond and Logan are longtime friends, family, lovers. They have a very unique relationship that you will learn more about if you decide to read this book. Their relationship has gotten them through some of the toughest times in their life. And it's mostly responsible for who they are today as adults. Logan is fresh out of college when we meet her. She is a Spelman graduate, and she's come back to her old high school that she and Desmond attended together. She's a guidance counselor. This is a job that Logan is super passionate about. This is her chance to make a difference in the lives of children that have experienced all types of traumas: physical abuse, mental abuse, food insecurity, socioeconomic struggles, addiction, all types of exposure to violence. So these kids have endured and lived through some incredibly traumatic experiences, some of which very closely mirror the experience that Desmond and Logan had growing up. So this is a job that she is super passionate about, and she's good at it. She is engaged when we meet her. She has been in a relationship for a few years that has, resulted in an impending wedding. Her and Desmond are a little bit estranged when they meet, and her return back to the school where Desmond is a custodian is, them meeting up again for the first time in a few years. If you've read the previous two books, then you know that Desmond has had a life-changing incident. He's not the person that we've met in Saving Sunflower at all. Desmond is struggling with depression. He's struggling financially. He's struggling with his identity. He is not in a good place when we meet him. And we will see throughout the story how Logan and Desmond's relationship helps to bring both of them back to a place um, where they can find happiness again, um, where they can find closure, where they can be themselves. Um, and that's such a big part of this book. Being in a place and being in relationships where you are free, or relationships with your family, friends, anybody, where you are free to be you. I think that this book is about identity, forgiveness, loyalty, battling obstacles, be they, mental illness, depression, financial struggles. This is a book about family, love, loyalty. If you've watched my review of The Endgame, then you know one of my favorite things about this author is how thought provoking her writing is. And I think that this is no different. I think urban literature in general has a tendency to glamorize, drug affiliated, fast paced, luxury buying, gang affiliated lifestyles. And there is nothing wrong with that. I'm still going to read it. But one of the things I like most about the Sun series is that it doesn't do that at all. Everybody doesn't get to be the kingpin. And I think we see in this series that some people are literally doing this for survival. Dominic and Desmond have head of the household responsibilities at such a young age. I think they're like 10 or 11, and they already have people to take care of, bills to pay, things like that. Dominic has a little cousin that he must provide for. And you will see, if you read this book, all of the responsibilities that Desmond has before the age of 15. I think this book also shows, other battles in communities like these. Kids that come from households where they have siblings and parents suffering from drug addiction, the toll that takes on them mentally, the toll that it takes on their family. I think you get to see that from several angles in this book. So I think that this author in general does a good job of showing the impacts of this community on kids and how it affects them as adults. Even in the end game, we saw Josiah entering into a lifestyle that he didn't fully understand, making decisions that he couldn't grasp the impact of at such a young age, and the consequences that he has had to deal with, as a result of the decisions that he has made. So I think that she's done a beautiful job of telling very complicated stories that, are the other side of the glamorous lifestyles that we like to read about. These stories are not glamorous. They are not pretty. They are hard. They are uncomfortable, but they are still beautiful stories. And I think that that is one of the things that I appreciate most about this series. So I've suggested this series to a few people, and their responses have been like, oh, well, I like to read, series where people are well educated and rich and well to do and things like those. Series are nice. They are. But if you really want to measure where you are, where your emotional intelligence is, and where your empathy is, and how understanding and empathetic and caring you are about people who are in situations that make you uncomfortable, then these types of series are the ones that help you do that on some level. So definitely look for that if you decide to check this out. So, on reading this book, I had all kinds of thoughts popping in and out of my head, and I'm not going to talk about all of them, but I wrote some of them down. So, first up, I had in laws. How important is it that you get along with your significant other's family? I think when I was younger, I used to think, well, I'm marrying him, I'm not marrying the family. But now, as a person, with a toddler going through a divorce, I'm not so sure that that's true. I'm not so sure that if I met someone else, like I would, especially if he was close to his family, would I think differently? I don't know. Are y'all okay dating people outside of your race that have like no cultural awareness of what happens, or oppressions or obstacles or issues inside of your race? Like, do you teach them? Or do you think that they should come with like some baseline understanding before you could even express interest? I don't know. If you are interested, um, or do you think that you would have been more interested when you were younger? Is that something that changes with age? I don't know. Why do old black people, specifically grandmas, why do y'all always think that somebody is going to find the key that somebody lost and know that it is for your house and a stranger is going to pop up? That is hilarious. They are always doing that. Being black in corporate America, or being black in I guess just spaces that white people are in charge of, especially when you know that they don't have your best interests at heart, or even the best interests of the people who they are supposed to be, managing. Um, this is evergreen. It is a never-ending topic. And I think we see Logan try to navigate through this throughout the entire book. She is a guidance counselor at a predominantly black school that is ran. The principal of the school is white, and she seems to be out of touch. She doesn't truly seem to be interested in what the issues are, and it is just, it's frustrating to read. I think because so many of us face that daily, or if not daily, regularly. um Logan did have a little trick that Desmond's grandmother taught her. Do y'all think that would work? I don't know. I probably would never try it because I'm just not that friendly, but y'all think that work? Let me know. um do women, do we still buy into the whole marriage material spiel? um or do y'all think that that's something that men push to get us to behave a certain type of way? I don't know if I still buy into the marriage material, especially as the way it's presented in this book. And, well, not by all parties, but by some parties. And I'm not sure that if that is still true, that I'm interested in being married. I don't know. What do men give up to get married? Desmond's grandmother talks about what women give up for marriage in this book, and I found a lot of it to be true. I really did, but then it got me to thinking. Well, what do men give up to be married? Do you feel like we give up the same things? She talks about how women give up. A little bit got cut off there, but she talks about how women give up pieces of themselves in order to marry a man, parts of their freedom, parts of their identity. They give them up to marry a man and be in his world as his wife. And it got me to thinking, what do men give up? Do you guys think we give up the same things? Are women more willing to give up things to be married? Do you think that changes when you get older? Like when you're younger, are you more willing? But older, less willing? I don't know. Um, So obviously, two wrongs don't make a right in a relationship. But are you guys more willing to cancel out a wrong done by one party if the other party is also wrong, even if it's a little bit, unequal? Were you guys able to find sympathy for a person who was done wrong if they are very unlikable? I don't know. I really struggle with this in this book. I think I'm willing to overlook transgressions of people when I know they're wrong if I really like this character. And that got me thinking, like, am I like that in real life? I don't know. I had to look into that because I really battled with Logan's treatment of one of the characters in the book. And even though I think that, she was wrong, I had a hard time finding sympathy for him. So I have to think about that in real life. Like, how well am I able to see you as a victim or as a casualty if you are a terrible person? I hope I'm not like that in real life. I don't know. But anyway, those are some of the things that I was thinking about while I read this book. Let me know what you think if you have any thoughts. So next up, I'm going to talk about some of my favorite scenes in the book. If you haven't read the book, it's cool. There will be no spoilers. You can still watch this portion of the video and, look out for them if you decide to read the book. So first up, I have meeting Keisha. So, story time. I used to be a teacher. I'm an engineer, but about 10 years ago, I decided I was not going to be an engineer. I was going to go and teach high school math and science to underserved kids. Best job I ever had. Best job. And Logan and Keisha's interaction just brought back so many memories about teaching. I really love it. Teachers need to make more money. But yes, that was one of my favorite scenes because setting those boundaries is hard. It's hard, but definitely a great scene. Dress shopping with Desmond, Doretha, who is Desmond's grandmother, and Logan. This trio together is gold. I love them. They have such an interesting dynamic. They are so close, so loving. I really love them together. And Doretha is hilarious. Like, I don't know. She just reminds me of so many grandmothers that I know. Oh, the water taxi scene. Sometimes peace really is a person. And I love the world that Logan and Desmond have spun themselves in to maintain their sanity. It really is a really special world. Gets them into a bit of, problems sometimes, but it really is a really special world. As kissing dinner gone wrong. Or maybe it went right. I don't know. Logan got herself into a world of trouble here, but good trouble. I like this scene. I like it, Logan. Oh, Doretha explaining the dangers of a woman entering into a marriage where the man thinks that she's unloved. I think that this is a tough scene because Doretha and Desmond are facing for the first time, really facing what it is that they're about to lose, if Logan gets married or when Logan gets married. So tough scene there. Logan's visit back home. So, I am a person who loves to see old characters in new books. I just really love it. So here we get to check in with JoJo. Josiah is picking up Journey from school. They are doing great. I love Josiah and Journey together. And him and Jade are doing well. It seems like they are, moving forward with their little family. We get to go to Sandy Springs and visit Dominic and Chloe and Evie. Despite Desmond's deplorable treatment of Chloe in book 1, they have really bonded. They are they are so tightly knit. It's crazy. So I love her birthday gift to him. I think it just really speaks to what Desmond has come to mean to Chloe and Evie. Um, I love Desmond explaining to Dominic, and then Logan explaining to Chloe their Logan and Desmond's version of their love story. I think that we see what they have meant to each other and what this time apart has cost both of them in that scene. And last up, I have from that trip Logan's birthday gift to Mo. I think it came at a time when he really, really needed it. Desmond is struggling here. He is struggling, and we see Logan try to pull him out of that, slowly throughout the book. Desmond's talk with Deshawn. I think it is so reflective of where Desmond is in his life, but also he's getting a glimpse into Logan's world. What it must be like for her every day to be a guidance counselor, and I think it gives him a new appreciation for her career. Logan's career is a little bit controversial in this book, the importance of it, but not to Desmond. Desmond sees the importance of her job, and especially here when he's trying to navigate, some of the things she does every day too. Doretha's retelling of how she met Logan. It's the cutest story. These are just this is a great little family, and I think it is just they are at such a tough time with Logan's upcoming, wedding. Desmond realizing what it is that he has done to Logan over the last few years. I think he learns to prioritize what is important in life and relationships in this moment. And I think that he really understands what Logan has gone through during their separation. So it is a great scene. Logan proving to Desmond that she can hold the house down in his absence. One of Logan's character traits is she likes to play all day. She's get lost in her little world that she's woven, but she proves that hey, when and if necessary, I can hold the house down too. Jason and Logan's discussion in the apartment. I think that this could have been a different scene. I think it could have been different. But I think that both of them show accountability, and I think that this went a lot better than I thought it was. I thought it was a good scene. Ooh, Keisha's pep talk to Logan. It's not every day you meet a kid like Keisha, a 14-year-old like Keisha, whose life experiences have, forced her to grow up before her time. This was a great pep talk. I can't say too much about these scenes because it's spoilers, but I will say that every single scene with Desmond and Dominic in this book was a great scene. Every single scene where Desmond and Dominic are together is outstanding. So finally I have who won the book, meaning who was the most standout character, and I have who benefits the most from being in the relationship. Who won the book? Tie. It was a tie. These are two very strong characters for different reasons. But I think that these are two very well written, very robust, multi-layered characters. So I think that was a tie. Who benefits the most from being in this relationship? Although I think it is a tie because they are such a strong couple. I think in this book, who benefits the most? was probably Desmond. Um, you guys know how I feel about speaking life back into people when they are struggling and at their lowest point. And I just, time after time, we see Logan um, speak life back into Desmond and let him know it doesn't matter if he's significant to everybody else. To his family, he is very, very significant. And he needed that, especially at this time, and especially with what had happened to him um, not too long ago. So, outstanding book, outstanding finale. Definitely check out this book. And if you haven't read the other books in the series, definitely check those out too. Thank you for watching my review of Bunny by Rae Lyse. I hope you guys check it out. I hope you guys check out this series. It's so good. I will be back next week with another review if you are interested. I am reviewing Devout and Too Devout by Takira Allen. I have started reading it, and I was going to do that one, but then Bunny came out, so I had to do that. But I will be back next week with a review of that. I am going to try to review this series, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it goes well. But if you're interested in more reviews, then please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.